Okay everyone, I'm back. Cola has rather generously agreed to actually do some levels, so that takes care of that problem. And I know I said I didn't, have the energy to bother tracking anyone else down. He came to me on that, so hopefully it'll work. And this is Flamethrower Grotto, and as you can see, the theme for today is setting shit on fire. A theme I'm not particularly, opposed to. And yeah, we've got the flamethrower cousin of the Hammer Brothers there. Some sort of backwards fire spitter equivalent. Little mini boss fight here, which is kind of embarrassingly easy, but it's only worth a 1-up, so it doesn't really matter. Although it might matter to that poor Hammer Brothers widow, and the 3 children she now has to raise by herself. And now we see the reappearance of, the invincibility power, the infamous superstar, which hasn't been seen much in this game, and that's good because, frankly, it's bloody ridiculous. And it would be more ridiculous if I could make the jumps I was intending to. Being completely invulnerable does tend to take the challenge out of day-to-day problems, like having a piranha plant come down and try to eat your face. Laugh all you like, people, it's a constant threat. And yeah, this is going to be a slightly longer way through the level. I'll show you the shortcut in a second. Assuming that poor flaming whatever the hell they are. Now if you jump straight up there, you cut off this little section here. Which I probably should have done, but I didn't actually realise it until now. Or until after I finished playing this level. As you all know, I record my commentary after playing. Because, well, actually I didn't during Battletoads, and all of you remember why. Now I do it. Because what you end up with is nothing but a consistent stream of profanity and reloads, basically. I'm not very good at this sort of thing. I'm even worse at not being a sore loser. And I don't know what nippers have to do with fire, but apparently they are part of the theme. I don't know, that's the end of that level. It's a pretty short one, really. Now here comes the fun part. Excuse me, and you see the little movie skip there when I went to a different recording. Both of the double exit levels I have lined up at this point, Bite the Bullet and this one, whose name I actually managed to forget for horrible reasons, require a fair number of coins in order to get out the proper exit. Bite the Bullet requires the Truth Orb, which I don't have the coins for yet. This one, the alternate exit, is a key exit. I don't have 300 coins to do a key exit at this point. Well, I do, but that would have set me back and made me unable to get the Truth Orb, which is more useful in the long run. Not by much, but slightly. So we're going to go there. I've got to admit, I like, as I've said before, how much of Super Mario 2 he's brought back, because I really do believe that's an underappreciated part of the series that gets overlooked by the fact that it isn't really a true Mario game. Despite, all the innovations of the series that made their appearance there. And who can forget Birdo, or Birdetta, or whatever the hell it is. Birdo, of course, being Nintendo's first, as far as I know, transgendered character, which you'd only know if you'd read the manual for the US version, because Birdo likes to wear a dress and be called Birdetta. So there you have it, folks. Nintendo were willing to put a transgendered character in their games long before they would, allow blood, violence, or foul language, which I think is remarkably progressive for a video game company, most of whom are too, worried about offending the frat boy crowd to do anything interesting these days. Yes, poignant political comments, but not particularly funny. Gonna go low here, get a few more coins, avoid the bee-suited whatever the hell they are. Because while I could just set them on fire, it's not as much fun as brutalising them first. Sorry, my deception playthrough is kind of carrying over here. Another gimmick stage here. This is Mario Takes Flight with Lakitu. I don't know why they give you a power-up there, considering. Be careful, he says. Now, I'm just going to apologise in advance, because this is... and you can see the slowdown there, this game is not always perfectly balanced in terms of CPU usage. But this is a very simple stage, and there's not really a whole lot to talk about. Aside the background, which is quite nicely done, and the reappearance of the vultures from Super Mario 2, who this time at least are not carrying anything explosive. Jihadi vultures. There's another joke to be made there, but I'm probably stepping close to the line as is. And yeah, there's not a lot I can say about this level. It is deceptively easy, moderately long, and like most vehicle levels in platforms, pretty weak. The Mario World engine is just not set up for this sort of stuff. I mean, it's still a quality level, but compared to the rest of them, it's rather slow, ugly, and just not all that good. And the only real challenge in this level comes from the bloody floating landmine things, which you just saw one of a minute ago, who look more like they're falling asleep at their post than anything else. I mean, guarding the skies in 2 dimensions must be a rather boring job, because there's a whole lot of nodding off. You know, not that they're actually managing to do a very good job guarding it, because they don't fucking move. Seriously, this is the worst guarding job I've seen since... Okay, I can't think of an equivalent. But yeah. Like I said, very slow level, not a huge amount to talk about. Nice background music though. Fortunately, it's not that long a level. I mean, maybe if the bullet bills fired off 2 or 3 times as often, or they were spread over more of the screen, it would be a lot more interesting, but as it is, it's mostly a cakewalk. And I checked, there's nothing extra on the other side of the star block as far as I know. Now that's Mount Eruptus, that's the boss level for this world. I'm going to leave that because I don't want to do more of the star shards until I've got all the regular levels done. So we're going to jump into Bite the Bullet here, which is all about Corey's favourite enemy, the Bullet Bill, who, as much as I hate to admit it, do look something like a black caricature at times. I don't think they're intended to be, because that would be crediting Nintendo with more subtlety than I usually give them. You know, when Nintendo decide to do racial stereotypes, they do racial stereotypes. There is no possible way to misinterpret what they're doing. Oh, and the charcoal grey boomerang thrower, who's throwing bullet bills, therefore not a boomerang thrower, who looks like he's already been fireballed, is in fact immune to being fireballed. Possibly because he's already been scorched. The man looks like a bushfire survivor. If indeed it is a man. We don't really know on that point, and no one wants to clarify. I've got a question. When he throws those bullet bills, and you just see the Seeker jumping out there, he throws those bullet bills at you, and you hear the explosion sound of them being launched out of a cannon, but there's no cannon. I mean, unless, you know, he's either got a throwing arm so strong he can break the sound barrier, or he's trying to get his arm blown off by sticking gunpowder on it. Either way, this is not something a healthy person should be doing. I'm just going to basically drag to the end. Again, rather than dodging the bullet bills, beyond that there's not a huge amount to this level. That's the regular exit, and yes, I did notice the pipe on the far side there. Going through it now doesn't mean anything, and you'll see why now. This is just a bit of a catch-up. We're going to buy the Truth Orb because I've done some off-screen grinding and now I have 500 coins. Now I have 3 coins. And we're just going to go back and pick up the items we missed, as well as... So we're going to pick up the power-ups we missed, and then go and do the secret exit to Bullet Bill level. I'm horrible with names, as you all know. And you can see that wasn't there without the Truth Orb. That doesn't show up at all. You can't come down here. This is the Frost Ring. Nothing to do with, you know, ice or anything like that. It just looks cool, and it, as you can see, that keeps you from sliding about on ice. Kinda useful, bit late to have it now, but for completion's sake, we're getting it. Now we're just gonna have to go back. We have to go back to the desert world for its overheated cousin, the Sand Ring, which has basically the same effect with quicksand. You don't slide around or get stuck in it anymore. Again, not massively useful, but since I'm going to have to come back and do Deserted anyway, I may as well get this. It's not going to cost us any more 30 seconds of our time. Again, another pipe that wasn't actually there originally, but we've probably seen this in our playthrough already. Mario will now avoid sinking in quicksand, which means he's actually paying attention to real world physics for once. Jump out, and now we're going to do the proper... Actually, we might not be. I don't think I recorded. No, I didn't. We're going to have to do that later, probably in this video, the proper exit for the bullet bill level, because it desynced on me 5 times in a row, despite only being about a minute long. Pain in the ass, that is. So we're going to get back to that in a second. And actually, we're not going to get back to it right now, because Cola already has the files for the next set, so we'll wait for my next bunch of videos. Fuck you all, good night, go to hell. Please, I'll meet you there.